Next to have Emily Brown and Keith Schultz. Must be fall.
Good morning. I need to leave really soon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. I need to leave really soon, so I'll make this brief. But my name is Emily Brown. I am here on behalf of Bus Riders Unite. I live in Southeast Portland, and I ride lines 14, 4, and 70. I'm also here to talk about the transfer times, but for a slightly different reason. I am a single ticket rider, and often 2 hours isn't really enough time for me to make riding the bus worth it. I frequently cannot make an entire trip on only 2 hours, and not wanting to pay $5 for a single trip, I have to find other ways to get around. The other night, I was at a community meeting, and I would have had to choose between walking home in the dark by myself or leaving the meeting early to catch a bus because my ticket had expired. Luckily, someone else was able to spare an extra bus ticket so I could make it home safely. However, this is not the first time that this has happened to me, and I'm definitely not the only bus rider who feels that having more time to ride would make it safer and more affordable for us to ride the bus. I have talked to over 100 other bus riders, and they all agree that the cost of transportation has skyrocketed. We understand that in this economy, the cost of everything has just gone up. I don't make very much money, and I'm often forced to make hard decisions about transportation. Adding a third hour to the time on one ticket would add value to the money that I and others pay to ride. And knowing that I would be able to make an entire trip on one ticket would make me much more inclined to ride the bus and make me safer while doing so. Thank you so much for considering what I have to say.
I have a question for you. So you consider a trip a round trip? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keith, welcome back.
Yeah. Took a couple of months off. Good morning. I'm Keith Schultz, a Gresham resident, OPAL and Bus Riders Unite advocate and volunteer, and I am transit dependent. I'm here to promote the campaign for a fair transfer. 3 years ago, Bus Riders Unite was looking for ways to make transit in the Portland area better. As a group, we voted to prioritize the campaign for a fair transfer as a way to make the transit experience more equitable. This would correct some of the inequalities due to service reductions and, in some cases, service eliminations and fare increases. This has caused many of us to wait longer times at bus stops to make connections. For example, I have a friend, Nancy, who works nights as a caregiver all over the Portland area. She sometimes has to use 2 tickets or buy a day pass just to get to work in the evening, and then has to use more tickets or buy a new day pass the next morning to get home. Because of her work schedule, it's not always advantageous for her to buy a day pass in the morning, since she may not need to travel later that same day. Personally, I try to buy a monthly pass whenever I can, but when I cannot afford it, or when it is early in the month before I receive my Social Security check, I use SAM sometimes, the free bus service from Gresham to Sandy. Believe it or not, the mall in Sandy has most of what I need all in one place, while these stores are all spread out in Gresham. So instead of using TriMet access stores closer to my home, I use the free Sandy bus service instead. It takes a little longer, but it's free and convenient, and the buses are even cleaner. Unfortunately, they'll start charging $1 for this service in October, but they will increase service to 7 days a week and make it more frequent during the day. What a concept! A higher fare, but better service at the same time. Thank you.